In honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, sometimes getting help may come too late. That's the tragic story of a dad whose son died by suicide at just 18 years old. And despite being a talented athlete, a good student with countless friends and a beautiful girlfriend, he could not handle disappointing anyone, and he suffered in silence. Preston Logan Jones was a cute little boy who grew into a handsome teenager, loved by so many.
Preston was just a joyful young man. He just loved people. He loved sports. He loved socializing, very active. You talk to his friends and they always wanted to be around Preston because he always made them laugh.
Tony Jones is Preston's dad. He tells me not only was Preston well liked in school, he was a talented athlete.
He played baseball, he played football, he played basketball, and then I think he started playing lacrosse his freshman year. And I think the reason why he played lacrosse is because that was the one sport that I knew nothing about.
Tony also says Preston showed more compassion and empathy than the average kid.
He was very sensitive. I noticed it even when he played sports. I mean, he wanted to win, but he felt bad for the losing team too.
And in his junior year of high school at Berkeley Prep, Tony thought his son's challenges were the same growing pains as other kids his age.
We didn't really suspect a whole lot. He was just a normal kid going through normal things, and that's why I'm speaking out about this, is because if it could happen to us, it can happen to anyone.
So what happened? On April 23, 2023, Preston got into a horrible car accident, driving into a wall at a high rate of speed. He was rushed to the ICU with a lacerated spleen, broken ribs, multiple facial fractures, and bleeding around his brain. They didn't know if Preston would make it, but somehow he survived.
He was essentially unconscious for 3 days. And when he woke up is when he told me. And he said, "Dad, I did it on purpose." And I just fell to my knees. I couldn't believe it. We had no idea.
The family immediately got Preston the help he needed, with therapy, medication, and extra support from relatives and friends. And they learned why he was struggling with his mental well-being.
He couldn't handle disappointment. He didn't have the coping mechanisms to really be able to deal with when he would let somebody down, whether it was a girlfriend, whether it was us as his parents. He cared so much about us that he felt like when he wasn't successful or when he disappointed somebody, it just really hurt him.
But Preston powered through those challenges, and over time, his mental health improved. A year later, he graduated from Berkeley Prep, and in the fall, went off to college at FSU, where they kept in constant contact with him. Preston assured them he was doing well, even apologizing for his first attempt to die by suicide.
He really regretted what he did. He really regretted it. And he told us that multiple times. And that's why we never really thought he would do it again.
But on October 13th, 2024, Tony was woken up in the middle of the night.
I had 2 Hillsborough County Sheriff deputies knock on my door at about 3:30 in the morning and tell me that they said, "Is your son's name Preston Logan Jones?" And I said, "Yes." They didn't really have to tell me anything more. I knew what the outcome was.
FHP reported Preston's car veered off the road, overturned, and he was ejected from the vehicle. Preston died at the scene.
Preston was mentally ill. He went from having, poor mental health to that transcending into a mental illness. And that's what he had. And I've talked to a lot of people about this, and essentially a brain attack is what he had.
Tony also believes there was a genetic factor to Preston's mental illness.
But my oldest sister did suffer from mental illness, and she did attempt suicide multiple times. And it actually runs on my father's side of the family as well. I've had grandparents that have done similar things. And so, yes, I believe there is some sort of genetic side to this as well.
Today, Tony is trying to heal from losing his only son. That process involves speaking to other teens at local schools to warn them they don't have to suffer in silence.
Just realize that everybody gets down too. It's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to talk to your friends about it.
He's also worried about how social media is impacting so many teens' mental well-being.
And they're looking at the TikTok reels or whatever it is, and they're seeing the best parts of everybody's day. And I think it's hard to be compared to that. So I truly believe comparison is the thief of joy.
There's a mental health crisis.
And he's hoping by speaking out, others won't have to suffer the tragic heartbreak he's still going through. But he feels Preston is watching over him.
If Preston were here now and he knew what I was doing, he'd be like, Dad, stop talking to everybody about what I did. Because he'd probably be a little embarrassed by it. And, again, I think he regretted what he did. I think he really regretted what he did, but I think the Preston in heaven now is saying, Dad, I'm proud of you.
If you or someone you know is suffering, the Crisis Center of Tampa Bay is always available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just by calling 211. We also have more resources on our website at abcactionnews.com/mental health.